Fresh Baked tonight, it's going to be a night of mayhem and bonkerosity. I am endeavoring to exist, just exist, around Town Square and the Disneyland Railroad and Main Street on Candlelight Procession. It's a Sunday, it's the second night of Candlelight, and as you can see to my right, they're getting ready. It's about an hour until maybe an hour and a half before the procession starts heading down Main Street towards the Disneyland Railroad Main Street station. My goal is to just try to navigate the next few hours until we get there, just to see. I have a feeling I will not be able to stop moving at all for the next 2 hours.
I know. Hey, listen, you gotta get
I'm about to turn around because actually I'm on a path out of the park right now. I'm about to turn around and start this evening. I hope you guys are ready for this. Let's go. It's 5 minutes to 4. We're at the main entrance, just coming in. On your left is the queue of the standby guests, if I'm not mistaken. There are seats that are set aside for all these guests, unless those are, hi, how are you? Unless those could also be, the VIPs. I'm not sure if the VIPs have to queue up an hour and a half before the Candlelight Procession starts. Can't go left. That was the first thing we found out before we came in, is it can't go left. We can only go right. And it looks like it's also two-way traffic on the right. You can see a bunch of people coming out this way. You don't normally see that, like during a parade. You only see this traffic going in, generally. That tells me that they have completely blocked off the left side of the street. The Emporium side. I feel like I'm the only person doing this. 5 minutes to showtime. And already I can feel the anxiety building. And so it looks like you can. Can I go down this way? Oh no, I can't. That was a disability access, I believe. There's a bunch of guests walking down Main Street here. They're all exiting, but I can't go in that way. Rope is up. We have to use the backstage access, and I don't know if you are picking up what's happening right here. Those are guests going the other direction. Hey, how are you? They're sending guests. I've never seen this before. They're sending guests out the backstage route from this side, from the corn dog cart side. So I guess that means they're not sending guests down Main Street. Who are those folks that we saw leaving? Where were they coming from? They are sending just a slew of people in this direction. My goodness. Now the next question is, once we finish this, is where can we park and wait for the procession? Okay, I cannot go this way. I cannot go. I can't even drift in that direction. Can I exit? No. So there's just like, you definitely cannot go down Main Street. They're sending everybody either backstage toward, backstage behind corner, or backstage on this left side. The only traffic looks like that's going in either direction are people left over from the gift shops, and that's it. Although I kind of see people, sort of filtering in there a little bit. I'm wondering how they get in there. They said that the first cast member that I spoke with said you can't sit and like park yourself on Main Street and wait for the procession. I kind of get the feeling like we can park ourselves here and loiter for a bit. It looks like folks already are a little bit. I asked another cast member, he says, I can't promise you anything, but the fact that they've got a rope up right here, this is precisely where I watched the procession many years ago. But that was when the procession came out of backstage this way, and they just made a left. They're saying that the procession is going to start at Small World, and it's going to walk all the way from Small World down this path. And if that's the case, then hi, how are you? I'm curious how they can't let anybody accumulate here along the rope, which is where I watched it from, was in front of the rope. I feel like they might let guests sit here, and then when the procession passes us, we can start forming in front of the rope. That's going to be bedlam. That is going to be a nasty scene. I don't know what to do. I feel like I want to start at Small World and then follow the procession down. But that seems risky. Like, what if they don't let you follow? Then I got to chase it all this way? I don't know, man. 4:30. Just chilling here on Main Street out in front of the Charlie Holiday. I've decided to risk it all right here at the rope, just about where the rope is. I'm gonna film or try to see the processional come up the parade corridor towards Main Street, and then hope that I can secure a position right up there. I don't know. Good news. By the way, we're on Fancy Camp. Good news. I've just said there was an announcement just made over the speaker that in just a few minutes the Candlelight, the choir is about to proceed down Main Street through the parade corridor. So I thought maybe they were going to start down there at 5:30 like the parade does. But the timing, I think, is when the choir arrives, hopefully, which means we should be seeing the procession head down Main Street very, very soon. It's happening. I can see the candles. They're just passing Pixie Hollow right now. That was incredible. I'm stopped here at Main Street, but I can't stay here. They said we gotta keep moving at some point. But that was unexpectedly amazing. I can't believe I just witnessed that. That was speechless. I'm speechless. I'm gonna try and see if I can't make my way down Main Street. I don't know how far I can go if this is just for shopping only, because that's what they were doing before. Is they were letting guests down Main Street, but only to shop. There was a cross up there if you wanted to go on the other side, but I don't think I can take this all the way to Town Square, but I don't care. I'm gonna do as much as I can because this is why we're here, and I am so filled up right now. It's amazing. Just being in this presence is great. So Main Street, they're keeping Main Street proper closed still. I don't know if I made that obvious or not before. What are they doing here, I wonder? What are they getting ready for? I mean, you can't see anything from here anyway because there's a giant Christmas tree in your way. So I don't know if it would do any good to be able to accumulate guests right there, but it's possible that that's what they're setting up for.
Please welcome Viola Davis.
That was incredible. I was kind of hoping that the crowd would be a little more sticky so I could catch more of that. I don't know how good that's going to come out, but man, that feels good. Seeing that show, that is so amazing. Some of that music is just spectacular. The feelings, wow. And this is just getting it peripherally. I can't imagine what it must be like to get a proper seat for that show. I'm going to try to go get some more. I'm going back in. It looks like it's enter to the left and exit to the right, one-way traffic only. This could have been that thing that we talked about in the news updates a while back about how they were prepping for that. It might be just for this. Wow, it's going to take us a minute just to get in.
You got a drink?
Things are moving briskly here, so I can't. I would have preferred to be more busy. And it looks like, are they going to direct us left or right? So the ropes that we saw them setting up before, these are queues they're setting up for the second show. So people are queuing up now for the 7 o'clock. I thought about getting in there just to listen to it, but I kind of want to see more of it. So I'm gonna head back down Main Street a little bit and see what we can see. God, it's so triumphant. I had no idea that it was this possible to see. I can actually see the 7 o'clock show if I want to. Like, I don't know if this is a factor, if it's just not being as in demand this year compared to other years. But that queue on Main Street, I didn't think that even, they have been doing an amazing job, by the way. I have to say this. Compared to what I've seen in the past, they have done an amazing job. I've been walking like briskly, especially on the way in. When we went back in, I walked briskly through that part. And there was, they were, hi! They were letting the traffic was just moving free. Whoa.
Sorry.
That's okay. The traffic was moving freely. And then on the way out too, that's where it was completely stuck before. Now it is going pretty well. I mean, we walked right through there. They're doing a great job of keeping that traffic through. Again, I don't know if that's a product of there being fewer people here, or if they just, I think having it go one way, one way in, left, out, right, depending on where you're coming from, I think that has a lot to do with it. That has a lot to do with why it's going so well. But that queue out there on Main Street, I'm doing this next year. Whether or not I get invited to do something else, I mean, if that doesn't happen, I think I'm doing it. But I think the 7 o'clock show is the key. You gotta try to see the 7 o'clock show. I don't know how long that queue that we saw when we first walked in, when we first started the show, that was out here at the entrance at the Floral Mickey. I'm not sure how long they were standing there waiting, but I have to imagine a while. Whereas that queue formed as soon as they didn't open that queue until the choir had finished making their trip down Main Street. So minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and they're probably going to get a reasonably decent view. Probably. Like these spots right here. This is probably where the standby is going to fill. And there's, a corresponding section on the opposite side. I mean, that's not so bad. I'm totally good with that. Because it's, hey, hi. It's not really it is part of it, it's about seeing it, but it's mostly about just having the experience, right? I mean, I'm moved and I'm just walking around in circles. Back on Main Street, it looks like they just closed the standby queue for the second show. So it does fill up. I don't know. There's another one on the left side. I don't know where that one begins, or if that's the end. I can't tell if they're doing it the same way, but I think both sides are now full. It is 6:03. If the procession went down here at, we'll call it 5:30, if the procession passed through here at 5:30, it took a half an hour for them to fill both sides of the standby queue as the choir energetically proceeds way off in the distance down there past the Christmas tree. And I have to keep moving. We're gonna do another lap. This is fun. I'm having a great time. I mean, you can just casually walk through here. How is this even possible? You know why that is? It's because they've got both bypass lanes open as well. So they're sending guests backstage in both directions, two-way traffic. So that's a lot. That goes a long way towards relieving all this traffic right now on Main Street. I'll relay that horror story that I had. That's kept me from coming to Candlelight in years past.
Like the wise men and shepherds over 2,000 years ago.
Hey, what's up, Terry? Back around again.
And his eternal promise of goodness and light.
Should we enter the park? Train station to your right. Oh, stay in the park. We'll stay in the park and just go past that train station and then go down. Wow, look how pretty that is. They're singing over there.
So I want to say maybe 8 years ago, I was just going to the park, regular Saturday for me, and it happened to be a candlelight day. I wasn't trying to see candlelight. It didn't register for me at that time. But I made the mistake of trying to leave the park while candlelight was going on. And this is before they had the bypasses. This is before they did any kind of crowd control. It was just bedlam. It was every man for himself. And I was trying to exit over here at the, on the fire station side, the City Hall side. And right about the point where you reach the stage, where at about City Hall, everything stopped. We were sardines. We were all just bunched up into just, shoulder to shoulder, back to front, every direction. Nobody was moving because nobody could move because you couldn't go anywhere. Everything just stopped. It was the closest that I've ever been to feeling real fear at Disneyland, like actual fear. Like I have social anxiety and just unwarranted fears. Like I was afraid of being trampled or whatever. It was terrifying, and I hated it. And I said, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back to another one of these nights. We did kind of casually see it that one year, but I said, I'm not doing this again. But this year I decided to give it a shot. Finally, after 8 years or whatever. And this has been delightful. I've never wanted to give. Hey, how are you? Good, I'm doing great, thank you. Thank you too. You too. I've never wanted to give an A+ to Disney more than I have on this day. Look at. We're just scrolling in like it's no big deal. Hey, how are you? It's not perfect, but it's as good as I've ever seen them do it.
Recreate memories with family and friends. We go home. For the coming of the holidays brings the promise of faith,
we should stop and watch.
hope, and of love. But the greatest of these is love. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. And so from age to age, from the mighty to the weak, from the young to the old, for the healthy and the sick, for the rich and the poor, for all nations great and small.
Preach, Viola. I love that. I'm glad I captured that. Love is everything, you guys. Love is everything. Love can defeat everything. It's 6:15 right now, so that's 45 minutes just about.
It's been a special and inspiring night. There are many traditions and many ways to celebrate this wonderful time of year. And however you and your loved ones choose to do so, I hope you find your lives renewed with meaning and
Please keep it moving, guys. Please keep it
Let's
moving.
embrace every one of our tomorrows with hope and love. And through this holiday spirit, may we continue to spread peace and goodwill throughout the world. Thank you. And Merry Christmas!
Made the mistake of looping back in to see if I can't wrap this show up from somewhere around Main Street. Well, I am around Main Street, but where I could see something. But they're back to how it was before the show started, where Main Street proper is closed off. Well, it has been really, but now there's a bunch of traffic on either side of Main Street on the sidewalk. And it's going to get even worse here in a minute, I think, as we approach Town Square. But I'm fine. I'm good. It's been wonderful. I've had an amazing time tonight. Great job by Disney. Fantastic show. Everything was great. I loved everything. Even though I only saw it peripherally, I'm still moved beyond words. Struggling even now as I speak to, sort of put a poetic turn to how my evening has gone. It's been both science and magic. You know what I mean? It's been a little bit of both. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today, and follow us on Instagram at _freshbake. Yeah, it's getting really tight here. On Twitter at freshbakedisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at freshbakedisney. I hope you can hear me. I hope my lav mic is working because I'm whispering now. It's very close. If you like our show and want to show your support, please don't let these people run you over. And then join us on Patreon at patreon.com/freshbaked. I redid the tiers, by the way. I'm going to get into that in another video, perhaps. But we have a new tier structure, some new benefits. Give it a look. Otherwise, I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Freshbaked.